Hi Aries, welcome to April. This is Teresa from Tarot by T. And before I start your reading, I want to call in some good energy. And I want to say happy birthday for those who are celebrating in April. And I want to say thank you for everyone who has been supporting my channel, whether you're leaving a comment or liking or subscribing or sharing. I really appreciate it. And for those who have ordered readings, I've welcomed your business and I've welcomed getting to know you all. I've enjoyed working with all of you. So I just want to express my gratitude before we get into this new month. So we have a new moon in Aries on April 5th. And we have a full moon, another full moon in Libra, only this one is at 29 degrees. So something will be coming to an end or a culmination. Probably a relationship issue, or whether it's business or personal, will be resolved by the end of the month, one way or another. There'll be some kind of finality. And this new moon is actually very karmic. It's connected to the nodes and Saturn. Saturn is squaring this new moon. So April's going to be a time of shifts and change, of releasing before you embark on the new. It's time for us to get on our soul path and release, work through the challenges. So let's see what's happening for Aries for the month of April. What does Aries need to know about love, life, and relationships? Anything important coming up in April? I feel like this is a relationship month with all the moons that are happening. So, what does Aries need to know about love for the month of April? I've got this new deck and I'm having a hard time shuffling. I need to break it in. May only the highest forces be present to ensure that the truth be told. The Star. The Seven of Wands. Four of Swords. The Sun. The Eight of Wands. The Wheel of Fortune. The Eight of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles. The Ace of Swords and the Queen of Cups. Okay, so Aries, you've got some good cards here. The Star. The Star is a wish or a dream that you're wanting to fulfill. And you can achieve it. Things are changing for you in April. I think April is going to be a turning point for you. You may not see results until September maybe, or things are going to start to, but they're going to start to change in April. The Star always lets you know that there is hope, there's spiritual guidance. You're being guided. So if you're open to your intuition, now's the time to quiet your mind and listen for that inner voice, because it's leading you in the right direction. If you're struggling with an obstacle, the Seven of Wands represents you overcoming the obstacles in your way to achieve this dream. It may take a while because the Star doesn't promise immediate success. The Star promises it's a long-term, it's going to take, it's something in the future. So you can achieve it, whatever you're dreaming of, whether it's a new relationship or, reestablishing a relationship, whatever goal you're wanting to achieve in life, you can do it. You have to stand your ground and fight for what you want. This is a card of standing up against powerful forces, against competition, against obstacles. you have the upper hand with the Seven of Wands. You have the vantage point. So if you're competing in any situation, let's say you're in a relationship and you might be competing for the love of someone, you have the upper hand. So you're the favored one, whether it's career or a love relationship, you're in a position where you could win. Now you have the Four of Swords in the past. So you might have been separated from someone for a while. Maybe you needed a time out. Maybe you're in the process of healing. You just needed to be alone. You needed time to process things. You might be recovering from an illness. And the sun means whatever troubles you're experiencing, the sun gives you the power to overcome them. That everything's going to be okay. In a relationship, the sun could mean marriage. It could mean being with someone that you really enjoy. Someone whose company you enjoy. You're like two kids when you're together. You don't realize the time. You just have fun together. And maybe you've done some fun things in the past, because this is a past influence, this card. You've had a lot of fun. There's been someone in your life that you've had a lot of fun with. But maybe you've been separated from them for some reason. Maybe because you haven't been feeling well, so you haven't been reaching out. And you're in the process of healing. The Eight of Wands is coming up in the future, and the Wheel of Fortune. So there are going to be opportunities becoming available to you, both in love and business. I feel like career and love. Because the Eight of Wands is in a love relationship, it would be the arrows of love, messages of love. Things happening suddenly, love at first sight. You know, you might just meet someone out of the blue, the Wheel of Fortune, and you're just head over heels. So that's a possibility. Or there could be an opportunity that just comes across your path that's very, that's going to help you in your career. You know, new opportunities opening up, new doors opening up. Doors that have been shut are now opening. Or just opportunities are coming up that when you least expect it. Because the Wheel of Fortune means whatever you've been going through in the past, things are changing. Nothing lasts forever. So if you've been going through a difficult time, the Wheel of Fortune can mean that your luck is changing. And that new opportunities, lucky opportunities, are coming your way. I mean, you still have Jupiter in Sagittarius, so that's supporting Aries. But with the way these planets work, you know, nothing is predestined. It's like a weather forecast. So if Jupiter is in a favorable aspect to your sun, that doesn't mean you can just sit at home and wait for somebody to knock on the door and say, here's $1 million, you know, or here's your opportunity, I'm going to change your life. I mean, you have to get out there. You have to take advantage of the weather, the astrological weather. So if you put yourself out there, if you try to achieve a dream or a goal, your chances of winning are greater. And your chances of changing your life and your situation are better. Especially, you know, you're having the new moon in your sign, Aries. So this is a time Mercury is, you know, no longer retrograde. Mercury's going direct now. We're in April. So now's the time for a new beginning. You know, and when in March Mercury was retrograde, it wasn't really a good time to start new things. But with the new moon in your sign, I would take advantage of that energy. If you're waiting to launch something or begin something, maybe you're creating a new you, a new way of being in the world. Whatever it is that you're starting, start it after the new moon in Aries. There may be some challenges, which I'll get to with the astrology, but so you have the, if you hang in there and do the work, you'll overcome them. The Eight of Pentacles is here. This is a card of slow progress. It's a card of working toward a goal, wanting to achieve something, and you may be a little bit discouraged right now because this is in your negative thinking sector. Like, you have all these plans, you've been working, and you're not really seeing the results yet, so you're starting to get impatient. The Nine of Pentacles is a card of abundance, basically. It's your environment. You know, so even if you're working, sometimes when this card comes up, you may achieve financial success, and that's great. But at some point you're going to feel like it's not enough. Like, okay, I've been spending all my time working on this goal, trying to, you know, achieve in my career. But now I want to share my life with someone. You're going to have that feeling of, it's not, you know, I'm all by myself in this beautiful house, or I'm all alone with my nice things. It's not fulfilling. And you're going to want to share that. You're going to realize that partnership, that it's not always great to be the lone wolf. That sometimes that's just not enough. So you're learning lessons in partnership this month. And it may change your views on, maybe you're going to want to connect with someone because you don't want to be alone anymore. The Ace of Swords. This is your wish fulfillment sector. So the Ace of Swords, this is the warrior energy. So you are going to take action in April to fulfill a dream. Whether it's to connect with someone, it could be this Queen of Cups. But opportunity is knocking, so you have to answer. If you've ever thought about putting yourself out on a limb, or starting something, or approaching someone, or initiating something, April is the time to do it. And you're going to get this warrior energy, where you're going to say, you know what, I'm tired of my life the way it is. I'm going to go for what I want, come hell or high water. The Queen of Cups, this could be someone you're dealing with in April. Someone who's very spiritual, very intuitive, very compassionate. The Queen of Cups could be a water sign. But even if it's not the sign, then it could be Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But it's just the personality of this person is very intuitive, very spiritual. They just know things. They're very sensitive, very compassionate. They care so much about other people. So this could be someone you're interested in, that you're going to go after. That you're going to say, you know what, I'm going to go for what I want. You may not see results, because this is a time card. You may not see final results until September. But it's a good time to initiate in April. Initiate a goal that you want to fulfill over the coming months. And because you could have success, but you have to take action. So let's see what the astrology has to say about. So you have the new moon in your first house, and it's being squared by Saturn in the 10th house. And the North Node. So the North Node, you know, the South and North nodes are in Capricorn and Cancer. So the South Node is in Capricorn, the North Node is in Cancer. And Saturn and Pluto are pretty close to the South Node. And they're squaring this new moon. So what does that mean? When the nodes are involved, and especially Saturn, that means karma. Your karmic path. You're being triggered to follow your karmic path. But there's tension. It's not an easy... it's almost like the universe is lighting a fire and telling you must take action, and you have to make changes, because we're going to give you all this pressure and tension until you get it, and you start working toward your goal. And the goal is the North Node in Cancer in your 4th house. So that means you've been spending a lot of time on career, on getting ahead in life, and you've been neglecting maybe even yourself, maybe even working too hard, and you haven't been nurturing yourself. Cancer is about nurturing yourself. Cancer is, and the 4th house is about home and family. So maybe you've been isolating yourself, and you've been worried too much about external things and achievement in the outer world, and you haven't really nurtured your needs. You know, you haven't set up a good home base, because you need that a home or a sanctuary to come home to. You need that sense of home, that sense of belonging. And that's what the fourth house is. And that's what Cancer is. It's about nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself. But it's also about family ties. So maybe there's some healing that needs to be done around family ties, where you have to put down roots. We have to establish a secure home for yourself. And that's the North Node. So that's your karmic challenge to get to that place. And Saturn is throwing you curveballs because you're so busy with work. It's hard for you to make that that new beginning, to establish. So there's that tension between the North and the South. When there's an opposition, there's always tension where you have to kind of compromise and meet halfway. And the new moon in Aries, it's forming almost like a T-square to these nodes. So the way out, you're being asked to release the past. And the past is being ambitious, being selfish. That's caring only about getting ahead. And you need to embrace the North Node, which is learning how to nurture yourself and others. Being softer, being more maternal, or putting down roots, family ties, joining with people, not being such the lone wolf. And the opposite of this new moon in Aries, the opposite of Aries is Libra. So you have to embrace the Libra polarity point, which is learning how to work with others, learning how to compromise, learning how to be more diplomatic instead of being headstrong and wanting your way and being like, I don't care, I'm going to do my thing, and throw caution to the winds and just jump into things. Because Aries can be a little bit, when you want something, you kind of forget everything else. You just focus. You're so like laser focused on your goal that you don't realize that at times, sometimes you could be a little insensitive when it comes to other people. But if you want to follow, but what it's going to happen is that it leaves you being isolated and feeling alone. And then you wonder, well, why am I alone? So the universe is kind of telling you, okay, you need to stop working so hard. Stop. You're out of balance. You need to start, giving equal time to career and home, to relationship and work. It's okay to be ambitious. It's okay to be, proactive and to be out there like the warrior that you are. But you also have to balance that energy with taking care of your family, being there for your loved ones, and letting them know that you care. Nurturing yourself, nurturing them, taking a break, not pushing yourself too hard. So, and the full moon is in Libra. So this is kind of like they're kind of related, this new moon and the full moon. The full moon's at 29 degrees Libra. And it's falling across your relationship axis. So something is coming to culmination at the full moon. You have an opportunity to end a cycle that hasn't been serving you in relationship. And so that could mean, what does that mean? That could mean ending a relationship that's been holding you back. But it can also mean having a breakthrough where you end behaviors that are separating yourself from the people that you love, where you come to some type of understanding and you try to salvage a relationship. So it could go two ways. For some people it might be ending a relationship because you've tried everything and that you're just done. But for others it can mean having a healing conversation, because at the same time you have Venus is in conjunct the moon in Pisces. And Venus is also, it's an out of sign conjunction with Mercury. Mercury's in Aries. Venus is in Pisces at 28 degrees. Mercury's in Aries at 2 degrees. And Mercury is conjunct Chiron, the wounded healer, at 1 degree Aries. So you have some issues around relationship and communication to work out. Maybe you need to have a healing conversation with someone. With Aries, the Aries energy with Mercury and Chiron, I feel that you have to have the courage to be vulnerable. And if you can be vulnerable and you get your message across, because a lot of times we protect ourselves and we don't say everything we feel, fear of rejection or fear of looking stupid or whatever, being vulnerable. But I think if you could communicate your emotions and be vulnerable and let that person know, you could make changes in the relationship. And Uranus is also conjunct the Sun. The Sun is at 29 degrees Aries. Uranus is at 2 degrees Taurus. So there's all these like out of sign conjunctions, these two. So it's kind of an awkward energy. Because it's not, you know, when two planets are in the same sign, they're kind of like, they're comfortable. They're intense. It's an intense energy, a conjunction. So because these two planets are merging their energies. But when they're in different signs, it's like they're coming from different places and they're trying to merge. So the energy is a little tense. The energy of Aries and Taurus, it's kind of, Taurus is so mellow and laid back, and Aries is so go get 'em, you know. Aries has no patience, and Taurus is like, oh, don't worry about it, just, you know, I'll get to it one day, you know. And Aries is like, come on, let's do it now, you know. But Uranus in the mix means anything can happen. Uranus is here to free you from past conditioning, free you from a cycle that has been not productive in your life. So if you want to be freed from a burden or freed from something that's been holding you back from relationships, Uranus can help you. And so it can work. I mean, you can't even predict what Uranus is going to do because Uranus is kind of the wild card in the zodiac. The thing that you least expect is what will happen. You cannot predict what Uranus is going to do. All you can know, all you can predict is that there will be change. It will be sudden. It will be out of the blue, unexpected. There's something that you never thought would ever happen is suddenly happening. For good or for bad. It doesn't have to be always a bad thing. But it's always a good thing. Uranus will free you. It will always free you from something that you need to release. It will free you from whatever's holding you back, whatever's keeping you prisoner. So if it's fear, because, you know, Saturn squaring the new moon, there could be fear involved. There could be problems with authority figures. Maybe you have an issue around authority you need to work out. And that's been holding you back from achieving a goal because you're locked into that. You're rebelling against authority, maybe from childhood. So Uranus will come and free you from that. Maybe it's the awakener. They call Uranus the Great Awakener. So you have an opportunity to start a new cycle. And you have an opportunity to release a cycle that has been keeping you imprisoned. And to bring fresh air into your life and into your relationships. Especially because you are Aries and this is affecting your 1st and 7th house in your solar chart. So you have a chance to have a new way of relating to others in April. And it may come through some type of ending. It may come through some type of challenge that you have to deal with. And if you handle it in the right way, by compromising, by seeing the other side, by not being, you know, learning to work with others, being a little bit more vulnerable, communicating your feelings, you can win. You can win everything that you want. You can have a new start. It's up to you, Aries. So, and you can achieve this dream. The star is here for you. The star, the sun, and the wheel. Fortune is knocking. Are you going to answer? How are you going to answer that knock? And here's the love card, you know, arrows of love. So there could be new love coming, or a new way of loving in a current relationship. A new beginning in a current relationship. The ending of a toxic cycle. The ending of something that just wasn't working. Or it could be an ending of a karmic relationship. You know, maybe you were in a relationship that there was some type of karmic obligation, and now that's ending and it's freeing you to find a new path. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, Aries, and if you'd like a private reading, just click on the link in the description box, and we can get you on the schedule and we can be working together. In the meantime, have a wonderful birthday, have a happy new moon in your sign, and much love and success to you. And I will talk to you again next month. Okay, bye now.